welcome to the library. As you may remember, I am the librarian.
She's not your grandma's librarian. Oh no, she's not. She's not your grandma's librarian. Yeah.
And you are just in time to help us explore the most amazing book of all, the Bible. Last week, we learned that God's words are alive and full of power. And the words in these digital pages are just as important as when they were first written. Today, we are going to read words spoken by Jesus and recorded by his friend and follower, John. You see, Jesus was an incredible teacher, and he used stories and metaphors to help us understand the truth. A metaphor is when you talk about one thing by calling it another. Jesus uses lots of metaphors to tell us about who he is and the kind of relationship he'd like to have with us. For example, in John 6:48, Jesus says, "I am the bread of life."
Ta-da! Junior librarian in training, reporting for duty.
Dave, you're wearing a bread costume.
I sure am. I thought I could help you with the story, but don't let me interrupt you. You were just saying?
I was saying that Jesus speaks in metaphors. He's not literally a piece of bread.
Oh. Well, I guess I'll go. I'm gonna take this off.
Well, hurry back, Dave, because I have a story that I think will help us understand what Jesus means when he says, "I am the bread of life." Right here. Let's do this one.
Hi guys, it's Tani here, and welcome to Table Talk with Tani, my new video series. Today's story is from the Bible. It's in Luke chapter 6. We are talking about how we can use what we have to help serve others. And that story is when Jesus fed the 5,000. Action. 5,000, that's a lot. That's like way more than how many fingers I have. So one day, Jesus and his disciples climbed up a mountain. Ain't no mountain high enough. And a huge crowd was following Jesus because, he's Jesus and that's kind of what people do. There were all these people and he was like, we should probably feed these people. And the disciples said, Jesus, where are we going to get that food? It's not like today where you can just pick up your phone and Chick-fil-A, Subway app, Starbucks app. So the disciples, they looked at Jesus and they said, we don't have any money to feed all these people. And so they looked around and they found a little boy who had 5 loaves of bread and 2 little fish. But how is this supposed to feed 5,000 people? I need more fingers! 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, you got 15. Even though what the boy had was very small, he offered it to Jesus. Jesus took it, gave thanks, and then they started passing it out and passing it out until everyone was full. Even after everyone had eaten, there were still 12 baskets left over. Hey, can you give me a to-go box? Yeah, just, a little doggy bag. And that is the amazing but true story about how Jesus fed over 5,000 people. It would have been easy for that little boy to think what he had wasn't good enough. But instead, he took what he had and offered it to Jesus. And Jesus did amazing things with it. That can serve as a great reminder for all of us. Okay, my friends, this is Tani. I'm signing off until next time, reminding you that dental hygiene is very important. No, just kidding. Reminding you that God loves you, so go out and love others. I think I can...
I just love that story. Don't you, Dave?
It was amazing, but let me guess. It's like the metaphor, right? He didn't literally feed 5,000 people.
Well, good question, Dave. I love your critical thinking. But some writers use hyperbole to make a point. Hyperbole is when you make something seem bigger than it is. For example, I am so hungry I could eat a whole elephant! So, what do you think? When Jesus' followers wrote about the miracles, were they telling the truth Or was it hyperbole? Actually, Jesus did feed all of those people. And it was more than 5,000. This particular miracle was recorded by all 4 writers of the gospel. And while there are 5,000 men, there are women and children there too. So that number was probably closer to about 20,000.
Wow. And I thought 5,000 was a lot.
But how does this help us to understand what Jesus meant when he said, I'm the bread of life?
Well, first of all, this story shows us how much Jesus cares about us. When he looked out over the crowd, Jesus knew what our hearts needed. So he taught them about God. But he also knew they needed food, and so he provided for them. Even though feeding 20,000 people with 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish is impossible. This story shows us that Jesus can do anything. We can always go to Jesus because he provides for us. Say that with me. I can always go to Jesus because he provides for me. We need the love, forgiveness, courage, and hope that he offers us. Jesus says, I am the bread of life, and he fills us up. The life that he gives us satisfies us even more than a belly full of bread. Well, thanks for joining us for a wonderful story time. Up next, I am thinking snack time. What about you, Dave?
Whoa!
Well, thanks for joining us for another metaphorical adventure. Until next time, you can check out John chapter 6. See ya!
She's not your grandma's librarian. Oh no, she's not. She's not your grandma's librarian.